Hello everybody, welcome back, and here we are finally, and let's simply start working on that Excalidraw clone app. As simple as that. As for these things, let's simply uh, close them. Coming back to the main application, the main app that we are gonna be working on. Even yesterday, I asked the AI to create not the whole board, but some parts of it. So it created. So we have to even understand that part well. But before that. Yesterday I was working on zoom in and zoom out functionality, so let's see how that's working on right now. And over here we have when it comes to utilities, so inside utilities we have get coordinates, and here we have two types of coordinates ultimately. First of all is get screen to canvas coordinates. So using screen coordinates, you are going to be getting the canvas coordinates, and the second one is the get canvas to screen coordinates. So using the canvas coordinates, you are actually going to be getting screen ones. So this is what we have so far, and the next thing that we are going to do here, that is probably just simply run this. First of all, cd app/web and bundev, we'll just simply run this. And meanwhile, what I'm gonna do that is, whenever I am clicking just a sec, yeah, so whenever I'm clicking on this particular button, mainly this zoom controller, and inside zoom controller I have this handle zoom function, so that can be in, that can be out, so we can zoom in and zoom out. Over here we are calculating the zoom factor. By default I want the zoom factor to be probably 1. Scale multiplied by zoom factor. So what I'm gonna do, even this way it works, but the thing is that the scale changes the way I don't want it to change, so we'll have to probably make it 1, so that it just changes as per the scale. We'll see how it goes, but before that, and that's gonna be localhost 3000. Okay, so let it just simply compile. And meanwhile, what we are gonna do, there's another app. This is the one that I asked AI to build, but this is not the complete one. There are a lot of bugs in this, and everything is in the same file only, so it's not like it is formatted well and structured well. But at the end of the day, it's quite full with good stuff. So we are gonna be just simply understand the things from here, and we'll try to implement that thing in our main application. So this is the goal right now. Meanwhile, I just realized that Telegram got banned in India for a while. And I think after 20 seconds or something, it's gonna be unbanned. Just a sec. Why is it just a sec? Yeah, now it's fine. Just a minute, let me turn this off, and then I'll continue from here on. Alrighty, so without any further delay, let's simply get going. What's wrong with this now? It's just loading, right? That's it. Localhost 3000. I think I gotta change the color as well. So this one is gonna be peacock, PEACUCK. Change peacock to green, or we can have these colors over here, right? Anyway, let's change it to green. That would be better. So this is how it's gonna look like. And apart from this particular thing, we have the another one over here. It's just still compiling. Let it compile, and then we'll continue. This is the first thing that we wanna change, is the zoom factor should always be 1, and I think that is something that will resolve our issue. Apart from this particular thing, we are even setting the scale, so that is completely fine. So yeah, that's the only thing that needs to be changed. We'll see anyway. It just needs to be compiled. That hasn't been compiled yet. and later even we have to go through this particular code. So yesterday I was going through this particular section, that is whenever you click on the buttons, zoom in and zoom out buttons, hopefully they are here. So tool panel left side controls, and over here zoom controls are here, and whenever you click on zoom controls, handle zoom button out and handle zoom button in. So you have these two on clicks over here, and they are gonna be clicked, and as soon as they are clicked, what we do that this handle zoom button function is called, and the same logic is just repeated here. So it's pretty simple. If I'm unable to build something, either I'm gonna ask AI, or if AI is not able to help, I'm gonna ask AI to make that thing, then I'm gonna understand the code. But it actually takes a lot of time. Next.js takes a lot of time to just compile this stuff, and hence it's still just simply loading. So unfortunately we'll have to just wait for a while. Meanwhile, let's just simply go ahead with this particular thing. So we have the zoom factor. When it comes to the new scale, so new scale, first of all, scale multiplied by zoom factor. So the scale that we have, because the scale should be greater than the minimum scale and less than the max scale that I have. So ultimately whatever scale I have right now, or calculated scale, that should always be minimum to max scale. That simply means less than max scale. And once I got that, then so ultimately my scale should be minimum or should be less than the max scale and should be greater than the min scale. That is why first of all we have min over here, and just after min we have max over here, so that we are able to calculate that scale is less than max scale and scale is greater than min scale. So this is the only thing, and hasn't been compiled yet. It's gonna take ages, seriously. Why is that so? Taking more than it should be taking. Okay, so this has been the first thing, and once we've got our new scale, after that we are just simply checking whether the new scale is equals to the current is the new scale that I calculated, that is actually equals to current scale. In that case I'm returning from here. Why? Just a minute. If the new scale that I calculated, of course that got increased, so I had current scale and I multiplied by it zoom factor, so that changed, right? But so current scale multiplied by zoom factor, even we are not increasing the scale. That is right. So we are definitely setting the scale over here. So the scale that got calculated, why are we returning from here? I think I do not even need to return, because new scale may exactly be the same. Will it be? Scale doing this, so we are not really increasing the scale, right? So the new scale is actually gonna be calculated how? The new scale is going to be calculated not by multiplying the zoom factor, rather just simply adding 0.1. That's what I want. So as per this, if it is zoom in, so it is zoom factor increases, and when zoom out, so the zoom factor decreases. But what I want that let's see, first of all I think it should just simply compile, because without that if I start making changes, I don't think that's gonna be a good thing. So I want my code to compile somehow, man. That's such an insane thing. Bundev. Why is this not even being compiled? Anything else? Probably I need to just delete these caching related issues and things, and then just simply run it one more time, bundev. Next, let's delete this bundev. Next is gonna be there, and hopefully it will be okay. Here we are. I think so that because of that next folder, I don't know what that was doing, but because of that it was taking a lot of time to just simply even compile this stuff. But okay, here we are. And if I draw something here, suppose this is a circle that I have drawn, and if I move it here, now if I click on plus, it increases, but it becomes 120, then 144, then 173. So the way it is increasing, that's not the way I want it. So what I have to do, what I'm thinking of doing right now, that I have to just increase the scale by 0.1. That is it. So what is the use of having this zoom factor? And even if I have it, how about if I make it 1.1? In that case, if I have the circle over here, 10, 21, zoom factor is not working the way I want it to work. So the new scale is even divided and then calculated. So can I do math dot round and this, let's see how it actually goes. Reload the page. 10, 21, 33, 46, 61, 100. So if I draw something here, suppose this thing, so it will not work the way I want it to work, hence I'll have to go with that. This round is not the right option to have it here. Now if I reload the page, that's not bad. I mean, it could be 1.1 or 0.1, not 9.1. How about this? I mean, let's see. That's what I wanted, didn't I? But it is too less. In that case, 1.02. So it will be increasing by 2. Wow. So how about 1.05? That's what I wanted. 5, 10, 16. Well, it's not consistent. That's crazy. How to make it consistent? Just a minute. Handle zoom. I'm gonna take the help of AI right here. I'm not good at these algorithms. Okay, so it's I understand how they work, but if you just expect me to know them beforehand, not really. Even I'm not well aware of the coordinates and all. I just simply learned them well enough to be able to understand the stuff going on here. So, what can you? Customize it in such a way so that scale increases by 5. If Wi-Fi in current scale 100, zoom in 105, so don't use the multiplication. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Scale is gonna be zoom step. So zoom step is gonna be 5, so we can just simply add the zoom here. So either we can just simply add something or we can just simply subtract something. That is good actually. In that case, instead of using the zoom factor, I can just simply delete the zoom factor. Rather, I'll say what? I'll say that if the direction that I have, if that's triple equals to in that case the scale that I have, so plus 0.1 I'll add, otherwise the scale that I have, that will be subtracted. So scale minus 0.1, that is it. And now if I try doing this, first of all I have to of course refresh it. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 20, 200, 210. I mean, that's what I wanted, didn't I? Oh wow, I mean, that's such a good thing. And such a relief after making this. So it just simply zooms out reference to the center, and when we zoom in, it just zooms in from the center only, and it just simply keeps going on and on. And what I want that it should actually go till 200, and after that it should stop. So when it comes to stopping it, so new scale, whenever we are just simply not this one, yeah, we are setting it set scale, right? So set scale comes from here, and when we are actually setting the scale, especially when we are setting the scale, so then we don't need a zoom in and zoom out. Wow, yeah, that's right, we don't need them, but okay, let them be here for some time. Set scale, whenever we are just simply setting the scale, at that time I can do one thing, that is state that's already here, the action dot payload. So the payload that I got, we'll check we'll check that math dot max, and it's just gonna be like this, and how much should it be? The minimum can be 0.1, right? So the max of this, and then math dot min, and what is the max value? The max value, I can name it as well, just a minute. It should be min scale, and what is the value of the min scale over here? That's gonna be 0.1, and the max scale can actually be just 2, not more than that. So math dot min of max scale, and what now? The scale that I got, now that's not the scale, actually that's action dot payload, but yeah, this is what I got. So what am I saying? That whatever scale I am getting, okay, it should be minimum, it should be less than the max scale. So if it is greater than max scale, in that case I'm going to get the lesser value. So it should always be less than the max scale, and it should always be greater than min scale. So if it is somehow less than min scale, so in that case I'm getting the value of min scale. So it's just gonna be like that. So this whole logic simply makes sure that the scale doesn't go more than max scale, and it doesn't go less than min scale. Now if I come back here, tring and tring, just like this, 110, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 20, not more than that. Now it cannot go more than that. When it comes to less than this, it can go till 10. That is good, that's really good. We can even say that the max scale that we have, the max scale that we have, we can make it 3, so it can go till 300. So if we actually want a lot of zoom in, so we can make it this much, and again it can just keep going on and on. Even we can make it 10, so it can go till 1000. So it will just simply keep zooming in, and at the end of the day things are gonna look really crazy. So it will keep going on till 1000. If I want it to be back to 100, I can click on this and it is back. Well, congratulations, we did it. Of course I had to take the help of AI in this particular section, and especially I asked AI to just draw a board. Well, that wasn't that good, but AI, I mean, that was V0 by Vercel. and this is the code that I got from the AI side. Everything was on the same page only. And if I actually show you what kind of code, what kind of board AI has created, so that's gonna be pnpm. So should be 3001, right? So let me show you this thing. Even I have to learn a lot of things from this particular piece of code that AI generated. It's not like everything's correct, but there are some things that are extremely valuable. So again, this is gonna take time compiling the stuff. So we have done this particular thing. Now the next thing is that wherever we suppose this is my board right now. Now if I select the wheel, suppose if I go to Excalidraw, excalidraw.com. So what actually happens that whenever I just it just goes upwards and downwards. So we have to make infinite board, and this is something we have to do. I think this is also called panning. Yeah. So when it comes to panning, I think I can make it. Panning is what? You have to just simply increase or decrease the panning. On the basis of that, the canvas is gonna be drawn. So I think it's gonna be okay. That we'll work on it soon. But if we click control and then space, so it just simply increases or decreases. Just a minute, let me just simply pick up the call. Alright, so here we are, and let's continue. So first of all, the main goal is that we have to listen for the event. So whenever we click control and the mouse wheel button, so how to listen event for control plus mouse wheel. So control plus mouse wheel event in JavaScript. So let's see. So ultimately what it is going to tell me that whenever we just simply scroll mouse, so there are two things actually. First of all, we listen for any key down, key up event, and if that is equals to key down, then that's great. And then on mouse wheel is control is equal to event and toy key down. Okay, fine. And then we have the mouse wheel. We can even get the delta. Okay, fine. But this is not exactly event.control key. So there is something called control key that we have to keep in mind. So if we click control, so the value of the control key is true, right? So let's do that. Whenever we click it, right? So in that case, it should be on window. So what I want here, that I will have a use effect just right here, and just like this, and it will run only once, and window dot what window dot add event listener. We are gonna be adding an event listener to the window. I think that should be right, and that's gonna be key down. I hope key down is actually used and hasn't been deprecated. I am gonna be getting an event and CLG and once this is done, then event dot control key. Now I have to see that if it actually works. Coming back to this one, if I click control, well, nothing happens. When does it happen inside this? Reload it. So false, 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 true. So whenever I click control, it becomes true, otherwise it becomes false. So it does work. That is good. So this is the first thing. The second thing is that once we click control, then we have to listen for another event. What is that? Window dot add event listener, mouse. What are the events? Mouse wheel event. How do we listen for that? Usually this is mouse wheel. Control key and mouse scroll. What is the event? Just a minute, coming back to this one. Add event listener. So we have mouse move. Yeah, wheel is the event that's gonna be, and once that is so we'll even get the delta here, I think, or we'll see CLG, and let's see what we get in the event over here. So this will be, if I directly move the mouse over here, usually nothing should happen. Sorry, if I move the wheel, nothing is happening. If I click control and then it starts happening. But one more thing that I have to stop, that I have to prevent the default behavior. So to prevent the default behavior, event dot prevent default behavior is gonna be prevented, so that my page doesn't zoom in and out, otherwise it's gonna be crazy. Reload the page. Now my page doesn't zoom in, or it does. Well, it does. How to stop it? Anyway, we are getting this. So we get two things. We get delta x, we get delta y. We have to take care of this thing, but before that, event dot prevent default. How can we stop it? How to stop automatic how to stop screen zoom in and out? How can I disable? How to disable screen web screen zooming? Mobile web pages, not on mobile web pages. How to disable zoom on mobile web pages? Disable browser zoom on. This is not something I'm looking for, but yeah, that's right, this is not what I'm looking for. This is merely for mobile. Disable zooming, yes, on mobile. How disable web screen zooming on browsers? Here we are. Let's see. So if control key is true and event dot which is 61 and event dot which is what is this? Which it is talking about which? But event dot prevent default 107 num. Okay, these are the num keys. Makes sense. And just below this I have window dot bind mouse wheel and DOM. We can listen for both, can't we? wheel, event prevent default, prevent zoom. So if event control key, then prevent zoom. So probably I need to do one more thing. This is not gonna work, but this particular thing, if event dot control key, in that case prevent default, usually it should work. I'm able to zoom in and zoom out. If I do this, I should not be able to do it. Event prevent default, in that case anyway, around this wheel event dot, I don't know what I'm doing, but let's see. Hasn't really stopped yet. In that case, just a minute, we are able to do it here as well. Oh, come on here, there must be a way. Key down. What should I use, key down or key press? Which one to use, key down or key press? Use key down, it is universally supported. Okay, that's fine, happy to know that. Coming back to this particular section, it is telling me that document.body, so window.document.body, will it work? So window, not window, window.document.body. Let me do one thing, few steps back, and this document.this, and we are just simply preventing it if the control key is selected, and I don't think it's gonna work, so let me just simply restart this. Okay, and reload the page. It still supports that. So what am I missing? Probably event.prevent default event, this will only run if event.con. Now this event needs to be E only. Event.c control key. So what is the issue? Control doesn't seem to be working. So if event.control key, in that case only this should be running. Let's see. Alright, it doesn't matter what I just Alrighty, I hope I'm audible right now. So I'm not sure why it's not working. I do have some references as well, so I can just simply have a look at them, but usually it should work. So if I come back here, oh, this thing, let me do one thing. Come back here and projects, code, and probably this one. Let's go with this. Alright, did I implement the same functionality here or not? Coming back to this one, we have Excalidraw front end, draw, and not sure I did. Room canvas, there should be inside components. Canvas.tsx. Mouse, just a sec. Activity, control shift F, not gonna work. Activity bar, and over here if I search for what, whale, it turns out I haven't really used it. Output key down, output tools, of course I'm gonna get many. So I don't think that has that's been even implemented here. In that case, what's wrong with this? Let me take the help of AI. I think I know it. It should be somewhere in the middle, but it is here. So what's wrong with this? Alright everybody, here we are. For some reason I wasn't able to speak, sorry for that. But I'm just simply trying to refactor it, and let's see whether it actually works right now or not. I don't think it's ever gonna be working. Come on, why am I not able to stop this particular event? Most of the things are right. So it should not be problematic. This is better in terms of not leaking event business, but there are few issues. Handle wheel, this blocks page scrolling. That's right, that's what I want. Track scrolling, and mouse wheel is scrolling everywhere on the page. Is never used. Suppose the user press control and then the relay, nothing happens. That's right, better approach. Handle wheel, if a control key prevent default, yeah, that is right, makes sense. And otherwise just keep doing that. There is something called passive. What is this? So where is this gonna come from? It directly comes from here only. I never expected. Let's see whether it works or not. Copy and paste. Yeah, so it is just simply saying that when you are using wheel, at that time you can check whether the control key was pressed or not. Oh, that's insane. Okay. It turns out it does work. What the hell? My mistake. The thing is that I thought that for pressing the key and for the wheel, I'll have to use the two events. But what they are actually doing, they are just using wheel event, handle wheel, and passive is true. What is the use of this? I have no idea. But if I just simply remove this, so let's see what's gonna happen. It doesn't really make any difference. Oh, it does. The question is, what does this passive do here? And now if you really want to track the control state, then we are gonna have these things: handle key down, handle key up, this and wheel, and this is gonna be passive, and we are gonna be just simply removing them as well. Key down, this is gonna be true, then key up, this is gonna be false, as simple as that. And this is where we'll have this fine. I think the reason it hasn't been working, that is this, that this is definitely gonna work if that is true. In that case, I'm gonna use this. I just have to make sure that passive is true over here. Reload the page, and probably passive false. Yeah, it does work. So mouse does stop zooming in and zoom out when we have this passive false over here. Makes sense. So this has been the main problem. Anyway, let's just go backwards. Just a minute, I can just use the code given by the AI only. So this is pretty neat and clean, so I'm just simply gonna be using. So without passive, the mouse wheel doesn't really stop, so we'll have to set it to false. Now the question is, what is this passive here? What? Come on. Seriously, where is why? What does passive do here? So passive tells the browser whether your client listener might call prevent default. So passive true, window at event listener will passive true. You are promising the browser I will not call event or prevent default. Because other the browser can start scrolling immediately without waiting for your JavaScript to run. passive false, you are telling the browser I might call event.prevent default. So the browser must wait for your handler to execute before deciding whether to scroll. This is required if you want prevent default to work. That's fine. What happens if you forget it? In modern browsers, where in-touch events are often treated as passive by default, in many situations you may see a warning like unable to preview default inside. Fine. Control plus wheel to implement custom zooming. If you zoom, event prevent stop browser zoom and your zoom logic. That's fine. Passive is necessary because you are intentionally preventing the browser's default control wheel zoom behavior. Yeah, that's right. Alrighty. So this is the 100, and if I just zoom in zoom out, nothing really happens, and I can actually zoom in and out the things like this. Pretty good stuff. Okay, what is the next thing that I have to do now? Once I have done this much, so whenever we handle this here, handle this, so we have to prevent a default, and at that time clg event dot client x and client y we can get, right? So we have to get the coordinates, and from the screen coordinates to the canvas coordinates. That simply means const get screen to canvas coordinates. We have to pass event dot, what do we have to pass here? We are supposed to be passing event canvas pan offset and scale. What's the event? Turns out we don't have any. We have the scale, we have the pan offset, and that is it. In that case, canvas ref we have as well. That simply means we can create. I have to mute myself. So what does it say? Argument of type this void is not assignable to event. There should be e here. Now it's fine. And from here, what will I get? I'm gonna be getting x and y. So I'll get x and y from here. Ultimately, I'll get seriously, they won't stop. single wheel. So we have to do this. Minimum scale, new scale, return, get the canvas boundings. So ultimately we are gonna be getting the mouse X and mouse Y. Scale change in new scale, new offset, mouse X and mouse Y, they are gonna be subtracted. We'll get the new offset, and this is how we are gonna be done. So ultimately we need the canvas, right? Makes sense. Get boundings, so we are just simply subtracting this offset, and after that e dot delta dot y. E dot delta y. If that is greater than 0, then 0.9. If that is not greater than 0, that means 1.1. Oh, that makes sense. Just a sec. If that is greater than 0, so delta dot y, if that is greater than 0, that simply means we are zooming in. If that is greater than 0, then we are zooming out. So if that is greater than 0, then we are zooming out, otherwise we are zooming in. Makes sense. And then the new scale is gonna be calculated based on the zoom factor, and mostly we need to get the value of mouse X and mouse Y, so that we can get the coordinates. We can just simply subtract. Okay, so that's gonna be handle zoom. It will take a direction. That's gonna be in or out. Come on. Now if event dot delta y, that is greater than 0, what happens when that is greater than 0? That simply means we are zooming out, probably. In that case, handle zoom out, else handle zoom in. This is how we have to go ahead, and let's see whether it is exactly the way I expect it to be or not. So we are zooming in, that is minus. We are zooming out, that is plus. So if that is greater than 0, zoom out, and then this. That is great. What is the next thing? The next thing is that the coordinates that I have to pass them there. So the canvas coordinates, because it gets the coordinates, center coordinates, right? Now I have to get the canvas coordinates. So I'll do one thing, canvas coordinates. That's again gonna be a point, of course, get it, but they are gonna be optional. And as they are optional, in that case, if I'm just simply providing them, so canvas coordinates dot x, otherwise this. Similarly, this particular thing as well, this is actually gonna be y. What is the problem? They are possibly undefined in that case. This. So center x, center y, the coordinates that I have actually got. It's gonna be problematic. Why? Okay, let's do one thing. Because the points that I'm getting, the canvas coordinates, pen is already subtracted there, so they are the pure canvas coordinates. The center x and center y that I'm actually getting, where are they coming from? Canvas width divided by 2. Canvas width is what? The current screen that is there. So do I have to go with that? Canvas screen. One more question. Will the width of the canvas always be equal to screen width if left and right, left and if boundings are 0? The canvas width is not automatically equal to the screen width just because of its boundings. It starts at 0, 0. Window.screen.width, this is the physical screen's width as CSS pixels. This viewport window.inner width, this is the browser's width. The browser width is the maximized. This is the canvas internal drawing buffer width. Example 800, 600, canvas 600 regardless of the screen size. The canvas fills the viewport, but the canvas height is equals to window height because I set it. In that case, before the screen was in my case this is like that. Forget what. So what can we do now? For example, you will often have this which makes but that's because it's sized to the canvas in that. Okay, fine. Let's do one thing. What do we have to do? That is, I'm going to pass the coordinates to get the coordinates. I mean what? Let me show you. Coming back to this, instead of getting this, I'm gonna get X. What is the name of that? Screen X. Is gonna be a number. Screen Y is also gonna be a number. Call it screen, call it client, that doesn't really matter. And so just a sec. Screen to canvas coordinates, right? So they are the, I'm gonna be getting screen coordinates. That's right. They can be called screen point or screen coordinate, screen X and screen Y, that is fine. Canvas, I will have it here, pen offset and all these things. Now we have the rect and const X is gonna be X coordinate. What is gonna be that? X coordinate is gonna be screen X that I have dot X, screen X is fine, minus pen offset dot X, screen Y minus pen offset dot Y. So we got X and Y, but they are not the exact ones. We have to not pen, actually rect here. rect dot x, rect left, rect top. Okay, coming back to this, rect dot left y, rect dot top. We got x and y coordinates. Again, they are the screen coordinates. Got it? And once I have them, x, y, and then I'm gonna be returning x and y. So ultimately, I'm passing the screen coordinates. They are being converted into canvas coordinates, and over here I'm gonna pass the canvas coordinates. Canvas is canvas y. That's gonna be converted into screen one. Coming back to this, handle zoom. We had the center x and center y. Yeah, we divided that by 2, right? Now we have to get x and y. Get screen to canvas coordinates. What it needs: screen x, canvas dot width divided by 2, canvas dot height divided by 2. Then we need to pass the canvas, we need to pass pan offset, we need to pass scale. So we got x and y, they are the canvas coordinates. Once we have the canvas coordinates, we don't have to do this rather, we can just subtract x and we can subtract y over here. As for the center x, canvas dot width so over here I can just simply pass center x and I can pass center y, but that's the center x, kind of equivalent to screen x. And once I have that, once I have the center x, then I'm just simply the point minus scale change multiplied by the exact coordinate. So the exact coordinate, scale change, and we are subtracting, hence I'm gonna get the offset. So this is the screen minus main canvas coordinate multiplied by scale change, so we get the actual offset. That's fine, makes sense. But this should be normally point x and it should be point y. Why? Because that may not be the center all the time. So we have to pass point x and we have to pass point y. That can be any point, hence I have to customize it for that. Point y. So we are getting the exact coordinates, so it will give me the canvas coordinates multiplied by how much scale happened, and whatever the result I got, I'm subtracting it by the screen so that I can get the difference, that is I can get the offset. So this thing is done, but this is not over yet. We will get the canvas coordinates, and once I have the canvas coordinates, so if I have the canvas coordinates, in that case point x canvas dot width divided by 2 and y is gonna be canvas dot height divided by 2, but only when canvas coordinates. I don't have that. If I have the canvas coordinates, then I don't need to have it. If I don't have that, then this is gonna be used. As for the point x, point y, point x, point y. That makes sense. Alrighty, this particular thing is done. Now if I pass it, that's great. If I don't pass it, that's great too. Now the question is, will it work? When it comes to this event dot client x, event dot client y, and I must have errors at many places, so I will have to fix them. And not only this is not the right way to get the things. So what I'll actually do, this is nothing but a type, so type props this thing is done, this thing is done, this thing is done, and this thing is done. So now we are going to be passing the props like this. Once we are passing the props like this, same thing is actually going to happen here in case if I use it ever in future. But as for right now, I'm not really using this. And over here, x and y, they are screen coordinates, still screen coordinates. And then here x and y are the canvas coordinates. Just like this, it just simply goes on. And okay, forget about that. Coming back to this one, now it actually needs values in different ways. So that's gonna be first of all what? First of all, canvas, that's gonna be passed as it is. I hope what's the first value that it actually asks for. Well, the sequence doesn't really matter, but at least I should be passing in the same sequence, right? Now here we are, screen x. What is the value of, why doesn't it throw any error? Where is this getting? Get screen to canvas coordinates. This is inside. Okay. And right now, just a sec. We don't seem to have any error. Where is this coming from? Screen x. Just a sec. First of all, we have this particular thing. We have direction, we have canvas coordinates, and we are checking. That is okay. Then math mean that is also fine. We are increasing and decreasing as per this. Canvas coordinates, we have it like this, and we are passing the canvas. We are passing pan offset scale. But what about this? I have it only at 2 places. If I have it only at 2 places, why am I not getting any error? Ideally, I should get an error. I should, but I'm not getting. Anyway, so that's gonna be what? That's gonna be point dot x, and screen y is gonna be point dot y. So ultimately this is again what the point that I have, screen or canvas coordinates. Is it really a canvas coordinate? Screen coordinates. If I have the screen coordinates, then this, otherwise this. Canvas dot width, that's again gonna be equal to that, screen coordinates, just like this. Then screen x, screen y, we are just simply passing it like this. And then we are even on the basis of the new scale, because new scale definitely changed just right here. So we are getting the ratio. Once I got the ratio, on the basis of that ratio, we have the point x, that is the screen x actually in fact, and this one. And then we have point y, that is screen y, minus the exact coordinate, that is the canvas coordinate actually. I can name it anything. I'm just simply returning x and y here. Canvas x, canvas y, can't I return? Canvas x, canvas y. That is fine as well. So if I actually return that, so if I come back here, canvas x and canvas y, we can name it world x and world y as well. So canvas x, canvas y, here we are, and the job is done. But the main issue has actually started from here. I must have many errors at many places, so gotta fix them. Canvas.tsx. I don't have any issues here, that's insane. I thought I would have it, but okay. Let's see where all I have used that function earlier. Inside hooks I will have the, yeah, here we have. So we have to fix it from top to bottom. First of all, this is it. We have the event, we don't have to pass the event. What do we have to pass? Let's go here. We have to pass this. Now the question comes, what is this screen x? Do we have the event over here? Yeah, so event dot client x. What is in screen y? Event dot client y. Canvas, pan offset, scale. Do we have canvas here? I do have. Pan offset at the top. Scale must be at the top, no problem. Let's go to the next one. Start point ref current is gonna be start point. What is the problem with this? Got it. Changing the name is the problematic thing here. So let it be x and y for now. That doesn't really matter much, as long as you know. Otherwise let it be. Who cares? When I come back to this one, so x is gonna be this is gonna be canvas start point. Usually whenever we have the points, they are related to the canvas, right? So even if we are naming them x and y, that doesn't really matter, makes sense. So x and y, that simply means at the end they are gonna be relative to the canvas only, so understandable as well. Hence if I just simply keep start point here, it should be okay. And this thing is done. Same with this. Here we are. Well, that's even not enough. Now we don't have canvas here, but we have context. Event. Do we have event? Yeah, we do have event dot client x, client y. Why don't we have canvas here? This is ender point down. If we can have the context, canvas is where? Canvas is actually at the top, isn't that? Canvas ref. We do have the canvas ref here. So if I want to have the canvas ref here as well, canvas ref dot current. If not canvas, in that case just simply return it. Canvas offset. So we got the endpoint relative to the on the canvas, so call it world point, whatever. Then relative point, and that is okay. Once we have this, we are just simply update drawing points. That is also right. Tool, select a tool, relative points, current points. What am I doing here? Update drawing points. So we have this, and this returns the relative points. That is fine. Select a tool, relative point, and current points. So using the current points, that's already been subtracted, so this relative point just needs to be added to this one, and that needs to be returned. So ultimately this is how it's getting returned. Fine. And render preview shape, ultimately no errors as such. Yeah, one more. Okay, now what is this screen X? Do we have canvas here? We do. That's good stuff. Event. We can get it directly like this. If we have event, that event must have been called on the canvas itself. Hence, when it comes to getting a canvas, so I can even say that event dot current target. That will work as well. And hence, we can have it like this as well. Excuse me, until unless I'm doing something specifically with that. Like in this particular case, I was just calling another set pointer capture event, like event listener with that. I think that's just the method, or event listener. And this particular thing is done. This seems to be done as well. So nothing seems to be wrong. One thing is wrong, that is inside components. We have web, we have components, we have canvas, we have what is that? Zoom in and zoom out. So where am I gonna get that? Properties, toolbar, UI, zoom controllers. This is the one. So definitely I will have the error here, because this was supposed to be X and Y. I converted it again, so that's problematic. So let's name it X, let's name it Y, and the job is done. Now time to check the things out. Okay, here we are. So not sure if it actually works. Related to the center. Well, like that. Something's wrong. What have I done? How about this? Alrighty, so what is the next thing that I have to do? Zoom controllers. First of all, let's take care of this thing. Handle zoom. So whenever I'm calling this, just with the coordinates, without screen coordinates, right? So it's just being called right here. So whenever it's called like this, at that time what have I done that is missing? So at that time Alright everybody, there is a thing here, that is when it comes to center x and center y, so I have to even draw a diagram for this particular thing. So ultimately, suppose this is the center point, okay, this is the center point, so this center point will always be the same, so scaling doesn't really make any difference. So even if I scale, zoom in or zoom out, center point will always be the same. That is something we have to keep in mind. Okay, a point of a screen that might change based on zooming in and zooming out, that might change for what? So the thing that is here, that canvas width is just divided by 2, that is it. It is not we are subtracting it twice, aren't we? So we had the canvas width and that was divided by twice, that is okay, and then that center x is directly subtracted by the offset, that is it. But what we are doing over here, that we are subtracting it by pan offset, great, we are even dividing it by scale, that's the problematic thing. And why do we, why aren't we gonna be dividing it? Because center x is just center x and it will always be the one, it's not gonna change whether we scale or not. But a point, when we get a screen to canvas coordinates, so that's insane. Just a minute, coming back to this, if this is the point, okay, and this is the screen point, now I have to get the canvas point. So first of all, what I must have done, so there could be a case where I first of all translated it, and after that I scaled, right? So when I drew it, okay, coming back to this, come on yaar, I'm already stuck with the things. Literally stop showing me tantrums, now show me the right. Okay, I'm at the right place only. So what we are actually doing over here is screen to canvas coordinates. So first of all, we are subtracting the pan offset, the extra offset that it may have had, and then we are dividing it by scale, right? So scale, and then so over here when it comes to getting screen coordinates, so we have canvas coordinates, so we first of all scale the canvas, then we add the pan. So we first of all scale the canvas, okay, then we get the screen coordinates by adding the pan. But when it comes to center x, we do not need to scale it, do we? Center x is always center x, and center y is center y. Okay, let's do one thing, let's just implement it the way it is. I'm even getting confused over here, so I'll have to just ask AI about this stuff, but okay, never mind. So what can I actually do over here? That is I have to just simply divide it, and then I don't have to make this particular call here. So get screen canvas coordinates, this is mainly valid for screen coordinates. In that case, if I have screen coordinates, in that case I'm gonna do this, otherwise x is gonna be canvas dot width divided by 2, and y is gonna be canvas dot height divided by 2, and I can get rid of this particular section. How can I get rid of? I can. And this is gonna be screen coordinates.x and screen coordinates.y. And once I have that, so point x, that simply means the screen coordinates. So at that time, I have to subtract it by this, that is right. Minus offset, pan offset, what that is. And where is the pan offset here? I have it there. I'll have to simplify it, like the logic is quite is getting even hard to understand, so I'll have to simplify it later, but the point is that I have to make it work somehow. So in that case, if screen coordinates, in that case screen coordinates point x, right? So let me do one thing. And the screen coordinates will have x and y. Otherwise, x is gonna be canvas dot width divided by 2. Otherwise, y is gonna be equals to canvas dot height divided by 2. At least it's zooming in and zooming out. I'll explain exactly what I did, but the first part is working. Let's work on the second one. This. So when it comes to the second one, use effect, handle wheel. We are even getting rid of that, that is fine. So that is delta y greater than 0, so we have to keep zooming out, handle zoom out. And we have to do this. We are not really passing screen coordinates at that time. Get screen to canvas coordinates. Why do we need to get them? I mean, can't we send it directly? Things are gonna be calculated there. Or we are gonna send the canvas coordinates directly. Two options are there. Just send the points. They are going to be what points? At the end of the day, what we are doing here, at the end of the day, we have to get some points here. When we have a canvas, a center, so we are subtracting the offset. Right? And in case of center, we just have to subtract the offset. In case of a normal point, we have to even divide it by scale to convert it the canvas. Okay. So even there's something I'm missing here, so I need to fix it anyhow. At the end of the day, coordinate is not gonna be close to the canvas one. That's probably right. We'll see. And what can I do right here? That is probably I can do something here. Screen coordinates. Interesting, we never divided by scale here. That's the logic that applies on both. Okay, then I need to give time to understand the logic. At the end of the day, whatever coordinates we are getting, mouse x and mouse y, so we just subtract the offset. So I cannot even call the center one, but let's just simply work on this, make it work. So to make it work, what I can do, that is if I have that screen coordinates, in that case x is gonna be screen coordinates dot x minus pan offset, y is gonna be screen coordinates pan offset dot y pan offset dot x. This should be working. Reload the page. Okay, not a problem. First of all, why is the number not decreasing? When we scale, at that time this number is actually not decreasing. With the screen coordinates, Okay, so 1.1 1 point, okay, more than 1.1 it does not go, less than 0.9 it does not go, so there's something wrong. And here 170 180, it's just fine in this case somehow. Yeah, so that's the issue. Somehow I'm not able to increase and decrease the numbers. That's insane because I'm calling the same, and even this is being called. So what is the issue? That's just a normal event that is actually getting called. Even I'm getting this. It always remains 1.1 and it always remains 0.9. So what is the issue? The issue is the value of the scale. It is never changing. Yeah, here it is. It is always 1. In this case it is actually changing. In this case it is actually changing. But in this case it is never changing. What's the issue? Whenever I'm setting the scale, that's not changing. This doesn't make any difference. So this use effect, now it works. Alrighty, so the problem was that here it is. I just wasn't doing one thing, that whenever the scale changes, this use effect runs again. So what actually happens that this use effect was running only once, and as that was running only once, so how does it even have an effect? I don't know. I just simply guessed it and added it there, but I'll have to ask AI regarding this thing. So this scaling, whenever this changes, so it just gets re-rendered again. So I think that's the main reason. So whenever the property scale changes, this use effect runs again. So it gets connected, these events gets attached again, and once they are attached, got it. What is the problem? The problem is that now I'm not really sure whether that's the problem or not. Okay, fine. Just a minute. If I just delete this CLG rendering component CLG rendering use effect. So rendering component, rendering use effect. Now just rendering the component, that is it. So whenever I reload it, move like kind of roll the mouse wheel, at that time this component got re-rendered, but this never ran. When this never ran, so the handle zoom function that is actually called earlier, that is not here at all, that's gone. So that is the problem. So hence we need to render this use effect whenever the value of the scale changes, so that whenever it's calling this handle zoom, it knows that okay, the current handle zoom is actually being called. That is it. Now I have to format it, I have to make it better, that is right, but at the end of the day this feature is working. So you can draw just anything. Hi there, hope you are doing great. I got again I have to, what the hell, I have to work on this thing as well. So text is not visible for some reason, so yeah, I'm not able to display the text. Crazy. Never mind, that is something we can fix anytime. But at the end of the day, we are able to zoom in, we are able to zoom out, we are able to even scroll back to the 100% zoom, and we can zoom in from any side, any point. Now I still have to understand the logic. I just simply guessed some of the things and took the help of pre-written code and all, and then somehow made it work. But there's one more thing, that is, whenever we get any coordinates on canvas, we divide it by scale, but here we are not doing that. So that's something I have to know more about. And then the panning is there, and resizing the shapes. Again, this is the feature that we have to work on. But so far so good. It's actually a good one. Okay, I'm gonna be catching up after some time. It's been crazy. We have to even remove a lot of things from here, and the functions that we have to just simply make them understandable, make the logic even better. So that's a lot. Alrighty, with everything else, I'm gonna be catching up soon. Until then, bye bye, take care, and I'm gonna be seeing you soon. See you.